If you grew up gaming on PC in the early 2000s, you know this sound. You know the pain of having no saves, and you know the name David Jones. Project I.G.I wasn't just a shooter. It was a tactical nightmare that we loved. It was brutal, unfair, and brilliant. After Covert Strike in 2003, the series went dark for nearly 2 decades, until 2019. The announcement came out of nowhere. A prequel, a modern engine, a return to the shadows. It was called I.G.I. Origins. It was supposed to be the comeback story of the decade, but instead it became a ghost story. This wasn't a cheap cash grab. The development was handled by Antimatter Games, a studio with a serious pedigree in tactical shooters. They weren't just remaking the old game. They were expanding the lore. Set in 1980, deep in the Cold War, you wouldn't play as Jones, but as Regent, an MI6 operative hunting down nuclear threats. The gameplay reveal showed us everything we wanted. Unreal Engine 5 graphics, the return of the tactical map, the choice between ghost-like stealth or heavy firefights. It looked ready. Release was set for 2021, then delayed to 2022. Fans were patient. We waited. But behind closed doors, the silence wasn't about polish, it was about money. In May 2023, the hammer dropped. But it didn't come from a failed review or a buggy beta. It came from a spreadsheet. The parent company, Enad Global 7, EGE7, announced they were closing Antimatter Games. Not because the game was bad, but to increase profitability. In a cold corporate statement, they admitted the game was well underway. They tried to sell the studio. They tried to find a publisher. But when they couldn't find a buyer fast enough, they just pulled the plug. To save roughly $5 million a year, they scrapped years of passion, fired the team, and vaulted the game. And here's the part that hurts the most. Rich Barham, the game's director, didn't want to let it die. After the closure, he reportedly approached EG7 with an offer. He wanted to buy the IP. He wanted to buy the code. He wanted to finish the game. EG7 said no. They refused to sell the rights, effectively locking the game in a cage. They aren't making it, but they won't let anyone else make it either. So I.G.I. Origins didn't just fail, it was murdered. It fell victim to an industry that sometimes values a quarterly report more than a finished piece of art. Somewhere on a hard drive in Sweden, there is a nearly finished Cold War spy thriller collecting digital dust. But until those rights are free, the I.G.I. agency remains permanently offline. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments, would you have played Origins?